My own parents called me a failure. In front of everyone. And no one said a word. No one stopped them. No one defended me. No one even looked at me. Have you ever felt that? Like even if you spoke, no one would actually listen. That's exactly what it was. And then, exactly 30 seconds later, the doorbell rang. Someone was looking for me. But in that moment, to the 19 people sitting in that room, I was no one. My name is Natalie Carter. I'm 27 years old. And if you've ever felt like an outsider, in your own home, then you'll understand. This story might be yours too. Oak Brook, Illinois. Big house. Perfect dinner. Perfect people. Just not me. That night was a dinner. A celebration for my brother Daniel's promotion. Everyone was happy. Everyone was proud. Everyone was celebrating. Just not for me. I was sitting at the far end of the table. You know that seat. The one where you can see everyone. But no one sees you. There were 19 people in that room. And still, I was alone. Managing director. Big promotion. Future looks bright. Every word, every compliment, was for him. And me. I just sat there. Like background noise. No one asked, "What are you doing these days?" No one asked, "Are you okay?" And you know what's the most dangerous thing? When this starts to feel normal. When being ignored becomes a habit. My mom stood up, wine glass in her hand, and smile. The one that looks warm on the outside, but cuts on the inside. Before dinner, I want to say something. The room went quiet. Everyone looked at her. So did I. Because I knew something was coming. She looked at Daniel first. And me. Just for a second. But that was enough. We have 3 sons. Who make this family proud. Everyone nodded. I stayed quiet. Then she said. And then, Natalie. The whole room turned toward me. You've seen those looks, right? Not curiosity. Judgment. Maybe one day. She said with a smile. You'll actually matter to this family too. That was it. Just one line. But the impact hit deep. 1 second of silence. And laughter. But clear. And the worst part. No one found it strange. My father smiled. My brothers looked away. My sister-in-law laughed under her breath. And me. I just sat there. Because when this happens over and over again, you stop reacting. You stop fighting. You just accept it. That maybe you're the problem. Picked up my phone. The screen lit up. There was a message. I didn't read it. Why? 'Cause I knew what was about to happen. And I wanted this moment to finish first. Every insult, every laugh, every look. So later, no one could say, "When did we ever say that?" My mom sat back down. Dinner started. People went back to talking. Like nothing happened. Like I wasn't even there. I took a sip of water. And inside, I was counting just one thing. 30 seconds. 'Cause this time, I wasn't going to explain. I was going to prove it. And then, the doorbell rang. Sudden. The room went quiet again. My mom, annoyed, said, "Who could that be at this hour?" The butler walked toward the door. And inside me, nothing moved. No fear. No panic. Just one thing. Certainty. 'Cause this time, someone was here for me. And this time, I wasn't going to hide. The doorbell rang again. Longer this time. Like whoever was outside wasn't willing to wait. My mom tried to hide her irritation. Can someone get that? The butler stepped forward. The room fell silent. But not the normal kind of silence. The kind where something is about to happen. But no one knows it yet. I did. I looked around the table. Slowly. One by one. 19 people. Each with their own story. Their own success. Their own identity. And then me. The one they had already decided. Not enough. Has that ever happened to you? When people decide who you are. Before even hearing you. And no matter what you do, you stay the same in their eyes. That's what happened to me. Not just today. For years. I was 17. Spring 2016. I had a letter in my hand. Northwestern University. Full scholarship. For me. Life-changing. For them. Just a phase. My dad looked at the letter. For 1 second. Then put it down. Computer science. He gave a small laugh. That's a hobby, not a career. That was enough. That day. He didn't stop me. He didn't support me either. He just stopped taking me seriously. And he never started again. My brothers. Future leaders. Smart investments. Real success. Me. Still figuring things out. Have you noticed? Sometimes people don't insult you. They just ignore you. And somehow, that hurts even more. Because it doesn't even take effort. I took the scholarship. Left. And that day I decided. I won't explain. I'll show them. But at the right time. Thanksgiving 2019. Same table. Same people. My dad asked. So, what are you doing now? I said. I work with software. He didn't even let me finish. Turned to his friend and said. She's still figuring things out. Everyone laughed. Have you ever fake laughed? When something inside you is breaking. But you're smiling on the outside. That was me. Because explaining was pointless. Christmas 2019. My brothers got checks. $25,000 each. Invest in your future. Then my turn. Small envelope. A $100 gift card. For your hobbies. In that moment, I didn't remember the amount. I remembered the feeling. What I was worth. To them. If you've ever felt like you deserve more, but get less, then you understand me. And if you do, take 1 second and hit like, because this story, it's not just mine. It belongs to everyone who was never taken seriously. Came back to the present. Same dinner. Same people. Same energy. But this time, something was different. Me. I wasn't who they thought I was anymore. Picked up my phone. This time, I read the message. 2 words. We're here. That was it. But for me, everything. A small smile touched my lips. I hid it immediately. No one was supposed to see. 'Cause the surprise wasn't over yet. Just then, movement near the door. The butler was coming back. His expression had changed. A little confused. A little serious. And a little respectful. He walked in slowly. Looked at my father first. Me. The room went completely silent. He spoke. Sir. Like even he wasn't sure how to say this. 2 people are at the door. My father frowned. At this hour. The butler nodded. And then, he said the line that changed everything. They're asking for Ms. Natalie Carter. That was it. The moment those words landed, the entire room shifted. 1 second. 2 seconds. No one moved. Have you ever noticed? When everyone's attention suddenly shifts in a room, even the silence starts to feel heavy. That's exactly what this was. My father spoke slowly. Excuse me, who? His voice was steady, but the control, slightly shaken. The butler repeated. They're asking for Ms. Natalie Carter, sir. This time, he looked at me. Directly. Like he was confirming. Sir. There was movement behind me. Chairs shifting. Whispers starting. Who is it? What's going on? You know what was the most interesting part? Just a few minutes ago, no one was even looking at me. Now, all 19 people were. My mom let out a small laugh. Natalie, are you expecting someone? There was no doubt in her tone. Just dismissal. My brother Daniel added. Did you order something? Few light chuckles. But this time, they weren't confident. They were uneasy. Because something felt off. And everyone could feel it. I slowly pushed my chair back. The sound was small. But everyone heard it. 'Cause now, no one could ignore me. Yeah, I said calmly. I think they're here for me. My mom immediately stepped in. Sweetheart, I don't think. I know. Just 2 words. But the impact. The entire room went silent. Have you noticed? Confidence isn't explained. It's felt. And right now, everyone felt it. Someone whispered from the back. This should be interesting. Before that would have sounded like a joke. Now, felt like a warning. I stood up. Slowly. No rush. Because real power doesn't run. Moves. In control. I walked toward the door. Step. Steady. Behind me. The entire room stood frozen. Full of questions. But no one asked. Why? 'Cause now. They were unsure. I reached the foyer. The door was half open. Cold air drifting in. And with it, something else. 2 people stood outside. Man. Gray suit. Sharp presence. The kind that speaks authority. Without saying a word. Beside him a woman. Holding a leather folder. Professional. Prepared. Like this wasn't a casual visit. Like they came with a purpose. The moment they saw me, their posture shifted. Straight. Focused. Respectful. Ms. Carter, he asked. His voice was calm. But not casual. Yes. He nodded immediately. Good. We've been looking for you. That was it. Just one line. But it changed everything. Because a few minutes ago, that same girl was called a failure. Now, someone was looking for her. Like she mattered. Like she mattered a lot. Be honest. If you were sitting at that table, what would be going through your mind? Who is she? What don't we know? Were we wrong? Because in that moment, every face had changed. Confusion. And on some, guilt. But one thing was the same. No one was laughing anymore. And the biggest part, they still didn't know why those people were here for me. I looked at them for a second, just 1 second, then stepped aside. Come in. My voice, completely steady. So steady, that for the first time, the people behind me realized something had changed. They walked in, slowly, confidently, like they already knew. This wasn't normal. My father stepped forward immediately. I'm Richard Carter. Hand extended. Trying to take control back. Can I help you? The man in the gray suit didn't hesitate. He shook his hand. Looked him straight in the eyes. Andrew Bennett. Just a name. But the impact. Instant. My brother Daniel looked up. Bennett, from Apex Dynamics. His voice had changed. Before there was pride. Now, uncertainty. Yeah. Short answer. Heavy. Because that was his company. The one he worked at. The one we were celebrating tonight. My mom quickly jumped in. Oh, this is Daniel's promotion dinner. I know. She stopped mid-sentence. Why? 'Cause that tone wasn't interruption. It was authority. He looked at me again. Direct. Focused. No doubt left. He was here for me. My father tried again. Is there something we can help you with? This time, his voice was tighter. Control slipping. Yes. The room froze. We're here to finalize something with Natalie. That was it. But this time, no one laughed. Daniel spoke under his breath. With Natalie. Like he was asking himself. Did I hear that right? Yeah. Natalie Carter. Full name. Clear. Final. And in that moment, every eye locked onto me. Just minutes ago. I didn't exist. Everyone needed answers. But the answers still hadn't come. Andrew turned slightly. Sarah. She immediately opened the folder. Pulled out documents. Clean. Organized. Like this had all been planned. She handed them to me. Ms. Carter. These need your signature. That was it. But now, the room was completely silent. My father stepped in quickly. Wait, what is this? His voice had changed. He wanted to understand. Andrew looked at him. Acquisition documents. Final stage. And right there, everything stopped. Acquisition. Daniel repeated. Slowly, like the word made sense. But the situation didn't. Yeah. Then he looked back at me. We discussed this, Natalie. I simply nodded. No explanation. Because when people never ask, you stop explaining. 19 people stood there, thinking the same thing. When did this happen? How did this happen? Why didn't we know? But the real answer, they still hadn't heard it. And what they were about to hear next was even bigger. That was the moment. Everything changed. The room went completely silent. The kind of silence where everyone has questions, but no one dares to speak. Finally, my father asked, "Acquisition of what? Have you noticed? When someone starts losing control, their questions get smaller." That's exactly what was happening. Andrew Bennett looked at me, like he was waiting for final confirmation. I gave a slight nod. That was it. Then he said, "Meridian AI Solutions." No reaction. Why? 'Cause no one understood. But then, he added the next line. "The company Natalie built." And just like that, everything stopped. Can you imagine? The same girl who was just called a failure suddenly turns out to be a founder. Now think, what must have been going through their minds? My brother spoke softly. "Wait, what?" His voice wasn't confident anymore. It was searching. My father asked. "She built a company." Like the idea itself didn't fit in his reality. Andrew nodded. "Yes. We acquired it for $680 million. And just like that, the game was over. Or maybe, that's where it actually began. 'Cause now, there was no laughter. No jokes. Have you ever felt that moment? When someone's real value finally shows, and you realize, you never truly saw them. That was this moment. My brother looked at me, like he was seeing me for the first time. 680 million, he repeated, slowly, like he was trying to convince himself. This wasn't a dream. I stayed silent. 'Cause now, I didn't need to say anything. The truth was speaking for me. My mom had tears in her eyes. But this time, they weren't sympathy. They were realization. My father just stood there, quiet. Have you noticed? People who are always right take the longest to accept when they're wrong. He finally asked, "Why didn't you tell us?" I looked straight at him and said, "You never asked." That was it. But the impact, direct. Because it wasn't just an answer. It was years of truth. Have you noticed? People ignore you, as long as they think you're small. And the moment they realize they were wrong, they ask, "Why didn't you tell us?" But by then, it's too late. Andrew said calmly, "We should finish the paperwork." He nodded. I sat at the same table, where just minutes ago, I was called a failure. Now, that same table was watching my reality. Picked up the pen, signed once, then again. Signature was an answer. Line was proof. 19 people, just watching. 'Cause now, no one had anything left to say. I placed the pen down, stood up. No one stopped me. Why? 'Cause now, no one had that right. I walked toward the door, then paused, just for a second, turned back. Same people, same faces. But now, everything had changed. "I always mattered," said. "You just never saw it." And I walked out of that house, where I was invisible. And that night, I didn't prove anything to anyone. I just accepted myself. Now let me ask you something. If you were in my place, what would you do? Stay silent, explain, or just show them one day? Because everyone's story is different. Some people stay quiet, some people fight, and some people wait for the right moment. If this story touched something inside you, then you already know. Feelings like this aren't fake. The rest, that's up to you. Some people quietly hit like. Some share their story in the comments. And some just sit and think. Whatever you choose, it's yours. But remember one thing. You don't have to prove yourself. The right time. The truth shows itself.